Good evening, everyone. Hello, everybody. Just waiting for you guys to come in. Hello. Hey, they just be real. Sorry I came on late. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, you guys. Good evening. Please forgive me. I am so sorry for coming on late. I had to take care of some business before I came on. Hey, TMG. Hello, Telsha. Hi, Telsha. Hi, Doreen. Hi, Angel Grace. Well, thank you. You almost went to bed. Please forgive me. I'm doing fine, Miss. Is it just be real? Hey, Miss Felicia. Please forgive me, you guys. I had some business I had to take care of, so I had to finish taking care of that business. I know I'm on late, so I'm gonna try not to keep you up late. Okay? That's okay, Buzzing Bee. At least you can come back and watch the replay. Okay? I am so sorry. Please forgive me, guys. I did not mean to come on this late. I would do much better. That's why I'm not going to stay on long tonight, okay? Because I know most of you guys are going to bed. Hey, Soaring Feather, how are you doing? Let me get all the greetings out. I'm going to get all the greetings out. So it's hola, it's bonjour, it's namaste, guten Abend, hallo, good dog, heli. Hello, Miss Anita. Heli. Am I missing any? Anya say, oh, hopefully I'm not missing anything else. And hello, hey, y'all. Hey, you guys. I won't be long. I know it's really, really late. Everybody's trying to get to bed. So I'm just going to come on, you guys. Just say a few things. I know I'm late. Please forgive me. Well, hey there. It's Faces. Okay, let me look. Faces of Omega, the Duchess, Queen of. And I couldn't get the rest of it. How are you doing? That's a long name. How are you doing? Welcome. To any of you that are new, please welcome, welcome, welcome. Please share these videos. Hopefully you guys are getting something out of it. You're off tomorrow? Talk all you want. Okay. I always say I'm off. Hello, Andrea. How are you? Oh, thank you. I try to be. Hey, Ted Berry. How are you doing, sir? How are you? Thank you for being here tonight. I try to be faithful because I know I've been in your shoes. I understand. Sometimes when we're going through what we're going through, we want people that you know, not just faithful, that are committed to what they're doing. And so I try to commit myself. That's awesome. I commit myself and I try to make sure I'm here for you guys. People were there for me, so I'm here for you guys. But I'm not going to try to stay on too long, okay? Because I know it's already late. Some people have to get up in the morning. I don't actually have to go to work, but I have work to do. And I have to get up early too. So thank you guys for being here. Those of you that are not able to come on tonight, at least, you know, the replay, thank you. I deliver a powerful message easy on the eyes, my beautiful sister. Oh, thank you. So if I look like Shrek, you guys probably wouldn't want to watch me. You just want to listen, huh? Oh, you love the video about the lies? That's awesome. Good. I'm glad. So if I look like Shrek, then you guys will just have to listen to me. You guys have to be sensitive. You have to be nice. Right? Hey, so I'm not going to be long. So hopefully, you know, if you can't come on live tonight, you watching the replay, that is great. I'm awesome. I just wanted to come on really quick. I'm not going to stay long. I'm not going to keep you guys up long because I came on late, so that was my fault. I apologize. I had some things to take care of, and so I wanted to talk about. I did want to say some things about your worth. Uh, how about I use the same thing? Bahaha. Or I go bwawaha. But I just wanted to come on real quick. For those that may be coming on later or those that are going to watch the replay, let me say this. You know, a lot of you have been through narcissist abuse. And those of you that have been through narcissist abuse, number one, I say the same thing over and over and over again, is that unless a person has been through this type of abuse, you know, they really don't understand what we have been through. They don't understand this is a very different type of pain. This is a very different type of abuse. And so a lot of times good meaning people or people that mean well don't understand what you've been through because they've not been educated on narcissist abuse. And so a lot of times, you know, they're telling you, you know, you got to get over it, you know, get over it. You know, it's over with. You know, you got to heal, you got to move on. But what they don't understand is how tormented you were being with this individual, and that this individual was very manipulative, very vindictive, and they literally set out like to destroy your soul, destroy your life. And when they left out of your life, it's like the Tasmanian devil. They come in and tear the house up and then leave, and then here you are left with all these pieces and these broken hearts and these broken body pieces, you know, because you're dealing with now not just with heartbreak, you're dealing with psychological damage. You know, you're dealing with abuse beyond abuse. It's like torment. It's like dealing with a psychopath or sociopath, and some of them have that diagnosis. But the one thing, you know, in the process of healing, I told you guys on another video, I challenge you guys to keep a journal. Write a journal and just write down some of the things that you were taught. Look at the families that you've come from. Look how you were taught to have relationships. Some families never taught you how. Hey, the Headley, I think that's correct, from Australia. Headley, Australia. Thank you for being here. But a lot of times, look at the family of origin you come from. Look how you've been taught to have relationships. You know, what are some of the things that were told? Some of the things that we were told may have been completely wrong, you know. But if you've never, hello, Darlene. Thank you so much for being here, and you're welcome. Thank you so much. But one thing that a narcissist has done, they have worked very hard in tearing down. Oh, thank you. But see, what if I was smart and ugly? Would you still be here, Miss Rita? But you know, a narcissist has worked very, very hard in tearing your steam down, tearing down your self-worth, making you feel like you're crazy, making you feel like, you know, you're stupid. You know, a lot of you come out and you're questioning yourself. You're questioning whether or not you're intelligent. Oh, thank you. At least I know you're faithful. But you're questioning yourself. You're questioning yourself. You're questioning your decisions. They made you feel like you were crazy, you know, and they've tore up your self-worth. This is what I want you to think. First of all, journal. Journal about how you feel. Journal about where you come from. Journal about what has been told to you. You know, write it down. And for some of you that are wanting to write books, your journal will end up being your book. Now, certain things you may have to eliminate. You know, you talk to the publisher and they tell you that you have to safeguard yourself because you can't be sued if you talk about a person and they know that you're talking about them. And so it's Melanie from Alexandria, Virginia. Well, hello there. Is it Melanie? Melanie. No, you're not late. You're not late. I'm late, so I apologize. And so I was kind of just chit chatting before I opened it up for question, okay? And so what I was saying is that, you know, I was thinking about this before I came on, and to my UK family, for those of you that are from the UK, I was thinking about this on my way here to come on. Is that if you think about it for a minute, the crown jewels, and I was reading somewhere, and you correct me if I'm wrong, those of you that are my UK family over there, you know, the crown jewels are under high security. They are locked. You know, the queen does not walk around with the crown jewels on every day. That's not something she's going to go to bed with. And, you know, but they're locked up in high security. High security. They got all sorts of security guards and all sorts of fancy technology. You graduate from Carroll High, Doreen? Oh, shut up. All right, then. I got an alum on here. Welcome. But, you know, the crown jewels are locked up in a specific place, high technology, most trained people around them. Everybody cannot be around the crown jewels. Everybody cannot handle the crown jewels. Based on my understanding, I could be wrong. Even the jewels are handled with like certain gloves. And the queen also said about how heavy the crown jewels are. They were concerned because she has, you know, gotten older, and they were concerned that it may be too heavy for her. And what she says is that she understands the weight of those crown jewels. She knows the weight, and she has the strength in her neck to carry the weight of those crown jewels. And so, but not everybody can handle those jewels. Not everybody can guard those jewels, and not everybody can be around those jewels. So you have to think for yourself. You have to, hey, Miss Robbie, but you have to think for a minute. If they value, you know, and these are, yeah, journal. But you have to think, you're dealing with, precious jewels. You're dealing with very priceless jewels. You have to put yourself, male and female, in a position where you understand that you are priceless. When you were created, there's only one you on this earth. Think about it. There's only one you on this earth. And your value, you establish your value. You have value, but you have to establish your value and your worth. And when you establish your value and your worth, when you're dealing with the heart, which is your crown jewels, your heart, your emotions, your soul, this is meant to be guarded at all costs. This is, no one should have that much access to your emotions, to your mind, to your heart, to your intimate thoughts. That is a very intimate place. Everybody should not have access to that. In order for a person to have, that should be the very last thing in dating. That's the last thing when you're trying to get to know someone. That's not the first thing that you give up. That's the very last thing that you ever give up. Is your emotions, is your heart, is your feelings, is your love for anybody. It should be locked up like the crown jewels. And the person that's pursuing those jewels should have proven themselves to you. They should prove themselves to you. Everyone is not entitled to, obligated to, they're not allowed to be in that private, intimate place. And so when you are dating or when you're getting to know someone, don't tell them everything about you. Don't tell them all your intimate thoughts. Don't tell them all the pains and the hurts that you've been through. Don't give them your emotions so quickly. Do not connect emotionally with a person. You take them through an application process too. You find out whether or not that person is capable of handling, or they're strong enough, your neck is strong enough to handle the weight of who you are, because each and every one of you are very powerful individuals. I don't care what the narcissist says. I don't even care what your family members have said to you. You are so welcome. I don't care what your family members have said. I don't care what type of family background you have come, because some families never had any worth for themselves. And so especially if you're coming from narcissistic parents, they never taught you how to be strong. They've never taught you how to have value or self-worth. And so you have to create your own self-worth. And I share this in counseling a lot too. And I say, if you look at name brand clothing, some of you guys that are on there, give me some name brand clothing like Chanel, Louis Vuitton. Give me some like designer clothings from Europe. Just name a couple. And I'll name some cars. Let's think about like the Maybach. Let's think about the Rose Fendi, Valentino. Oh yes, Valentino. Hey there, Ariane. How are you? So Valentino, Fendi, Chanel, Versace. And I learned how to pronounce that when she said Michael Kors. What else we got? We got, who else we have? Is it St. John's? St. John's? Well, thank you, unapologetically dope. Doing reasonably. That's good. So we've got some name brands that so let's also, YSL, okay. Or let's say St. John's. There you go, St. John's. That's very expensive. So let's think about the Rolls Royces and the Maybachs and the Lamborghini. TMG, you know about cars. Dolce & Gabbana. So think about this. All of you guys know, to buy those particular name brands, are you going to bargain? Are you going to bargain? If you can go in and negotiate the price, then you may not be really dealing with the real thing, right? If you can negotiate, hey, Miss Bridget, if you can negotiate the price of those designer Lambos, Ferraris, Benz, McLaren, okay. Has anyone ever negotiated the value or the price of those products? You don't walk into a Fendi shop or St. John's. You don't walk into those design. You don't go in there and negotiate the price with them. If you come in there and you're negotiating a price, you don't belong there. How are you doing, Mr. Tim? But if you're going into these stores with these designer clothing, I'm gonna get to the cars in a minute. But if you're going into these stores with these designer clothing and you're negotiating a price, then you don't belong there. They know you don't belong there. We don't negotiate. What the price tag says is what the price tag says, because we understand the value of the product. Look at like Michael Jordan's shoes. You don't negotiate the price of his shoes because you understand the worth of the shoe that you're buying. You are actually paying for the name. You're paying for the name. Now let's talk about some of the cars. When was the last time you guys seen a commercial on a Lamborghini, on a Rolls Royce, on a Maybach? You don't see commercials on those vehicles, do you? Because they understand the worth of the cars that they have. If you go on a Rolls Royce lot and you say, how much money do I need to put down to bring down the price of this on a monthly basis? What is the lowest I can? How much money I need to put down, or how much does this cost? On a monthly basis. They already know you don't have money and you can't afford it. You don't belong there. And so if we can put that much value on an inanimate object, we understand the worth of those cars. Those cars are worth the money that you're paying for. And then the people they don't even spend the money to advertise on those vehicles. The people that advertise are usually the stars. You see the stars riding around on a Bentley or a Lamborghini or whatever car comes out. They know, the people that produce those vehicles know that the stars and the entertainment or the business people, those are the ones that are going to advertise their vehicles for them. Those are the ones that are going to advertise those cars, and you'll buy it because you see so and so driving that car. And so if they understand the value of those vehicles, and you can't come on that lot negotiating with them, they even dress differently at expensive car lots. Now, am I lying, TMG? If you go to a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini lot, do they dress like the average car salesman, or do they look more astute? Do they look like the elite? Suits and expensive suit. There you go. So you guys, I challenge you, just take a time. I'm trying to help you guys heal. During the week, if you guys, yes, they look affluent. They look like they're wealthy. So they look like what they're selling. But I challenge you guys, go to a car lot, go to like a Rolls Royce car lot, a Bentley car lot, go to, Miss Haley said, value creates a name for itself, red flag. One is a person who has to scream their own accolades to anyone who will listen. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so just go to a car lot, go to a Bentley car lot. You guys go find a Rolls Royce car lot, go find a Lamborghini car lot. Don't find the average Honda or something like that. Go find a car that you know you can't afford, and just go take the opportunity, just walk on the car lot. See how they treat you. See how they talk. Look how they're dressed. Look and see if you see a price tag on the car. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see, that's okay. You're not going to see a price tag on the cars because they understand the worth of their cars. If you got to come and talk to them about the price of the car and negotiate, you probably can't afford it. Okay, so having said all that, why do you negotiate your own value? And when I say that, you got to, they brag on how great they are. Absolutely. Guten Morgen, Nadine. Wie geht es dir? And so think about it for a minute. A lot of people are hurt, and they feel like, I'm stupid. I can't believe I got into this situation. A narcissist is not honest about how they get with you in the first place. So they start off with a lie. They manipulate because if they were honest with it, if they were honest with who they really were, hey, Miss Joyce, if they were really honest with who they were, 9 times out of 10, us intellectual, intelligent businessmen and women would not have chosen someone like that. If they just came with a sign on them with directions that told you everything that they're going to do and how they're going to handle you, if they were really true to who they were and told you what they were, you wouldn't have chose those people. So you were lied to. I think one of the viewers said bamboozled, hoodwinked. Hey, Miss Jamila, that you were bamboozled, hoodwinked, and so you were tricked into the relationship. Hey, Miss Clara. But think about it. Now is that time where you have to, there you go. See, Narc Repellent said, no way. Exactly. If you would have known that, you wouldn't have chose these people. So you have to stop beating yourself up because you did not know. You did not know that these people were like this. And so you can't beat yourself up as if you're not educated enough to pick out a person. Like, no, we weren't educated enough that we did not pick out a person because we were lied to. We were bamboozled, hoodwinked, like one of the viewers said. And so you have to understand your value. If the crown jewels are locked up, then your crown jewels should be locked up. Not everybody has access to the crown jewels, and not everybody can handle the crown jewels. Not everybody can handle your heart. Not everybody can handle your mind, your intellect, and your intelligence. Everybody cannot handle. You're more than just a face. You're more than just a superficial beauty. Beauty fades with time. As we get older, we don't look like what we look like now. And hopefully, you guys don't go out there and do super plastic surgery, and you guys look like Death Becomes Her or Frankenstein, walking blindly into walking blindly into bad relationships. But think about it. Beauty fades with time. Beauty fades, but you have to protect what's in your heart. Your heart, your emotions, your soul is not just to be given to someone. And now that a lot of you have been through what you have been through, it makes you a little more sensitive. And when I say that, those people that have not learned yet or learned what they were dealing with will walk right back into those situations. So those of you that are learning about narcissist abuse, those of you that are learning about what they do, their MO and how they function, it makes you very sensitive now to relationships. The first thing you have to do is you have to heal. You have to heal and understand your worth. You have to understand that you are valuable. If you could put a price tag on materials like Fendi and Coach, then you don't put a price tag on yourself. You don't put a price tag on yourself. A person has to earn the right to be into your in intimate emotions. They have to earn the right, and that takes time. You observe them. If you go through an application process, they need to go through an application process. And I said on another video, nowadays you got to fill out an application. You got to run a background check. Let's make sure. Let me look at your credit report. Let me look at your health report. When was the last time you taken an HIV test? Do you go both ways? Or are you heterosexual? Are you lesbian? Or are you LGBTQ? What are you? Are you on the down low? We need to talk. Do you have diseases in your history, in your family? What is your blood type? What does your blood say? So now is one of those things you can't be afraid to ask questions. You can't walk around thinking, well, I'm too shy and that sounds very personal. No, nowadays you better ask questions. And whatever answer you get, you have to make it a choice whether or not you're going to accept it or not. But even healing is a choice. Healing is a choice. Some people are not ready to move on because they're not ready. Some of you are still in the narcissist relationship and have not come to terms with they're not going to change. They're not going to change. They're going to get worse with time. So you have to make sure healing is a choice. Just like, and I was just having a conversation with TMG, and her and I were talking about weight loss. Both of us have lost 50 pounds. So give me a high five to Miss TMG. But think about it. You have to change the way that you're thinking. Before you lose weight, you got to come up with the thought about it. You got to almost pump yourself up and become your own hype man. You have to make a choice that you're going to lose weight. Because I know some of these sisters on here, like Miss Joyce, Miss Clara, these sisters are some Southern sisters that know how to cook. Y'all hear me? And every time I went on a diet in the past, these sisters come out with food that I've never tasted before and want to give it to me for free. And make big old pots. Just put it right in front. Look what I cook. This is how they do you. But I had to make a choice in my mind. See, Miss Clara, she one of them won. But think about it. You have to make up your mind knowing that when you choose to heal, when you choose, there you go, 50 pounds after you left, see? And about 250 pounds of that, you had some 250 pounds of that left you too. But you have to make up in your mind that you're going to leave and that you're ready to heal. Until you make up your mind, just like with weight loss, to make up your mind knowing that you won't be able to eat the way you've eaten before because that's not conducive to your weight loss. You have to train your mind, and it took me 6 months to pump myself up, to get myself prepared to lose weight. I had to actually hype myself up. I'm an old soldier, not old soldier, but I'm an old soldier. And in the military, once you lock yourself into something, don't let anything move you from your target. What is your target? If your target is to heal, if your target is to heal from this type of abuse, you have to take your time and lock in, knowing that there's going to be some emotional pain that goes along with it. I had hunger pains. These sisters brought food in there that was delicious. Everybody decided they want to feed for free. Hey, Dalton, how are you? People wanted to feed you for free. The food was smelling awesome. They cooking with their feet, but I had to make up in my mind that I was going to get this weight off of me. You have to make up in your mind that you have to get this weight off of you. And that weight, that pressure, that pain that you've been through, you can't turn back. Because when you turn back, you're going to go through the same thing. It's a cycle and it gets worse every time. Hey, Miss Colorado, I was just thinking about you too. And I'm going to talk to you in just a second. But you have to make up in your mind, if you go back, it's going to be worse. If you think you're bad now, you keep jumping back into that cycle. It gets worse and worse and worse. There you go, a merry-go-round. It just gets worse. You have to make up your mind that you're going to walk away from the situation. You have to make up in your mind that you want to heal. And that takes time, that takes discipline, that takes change in your life. If you have to change your lifestyle in order to lose weight, change your lifestyle, change the food that you eat, change the amount that you eat, do something to help you accelerate the weight loss, then you have to change your mind. Just like Miss Claire said, change your mind and stay focused on your healing. Narcissist abuse is totally different and unique than any abuse that you'll ever run into. You can't tell people, why didn't you leave? Why did it take you so long to leave? You need to get over it. Okay, you need to heal. You keep talking about the same thing over and over again. This is a type of abuse where this person has abused you psychologically, has abused you physically, has played with your emotions, and they did it on purpose. They never connected with you. They've never bonded with you. They never cared about you like you think. Hey, Miss Shirley. But they've never bonded with you, and so that is the most painful thing, to come out of a relationship and realize this wasn't real. This is so painful. But you have to focus where it is. It sure is. But you have to focus. What is your goal? If your goal is to heal, that doesn't mean, that's just like you didn't gain 50 pounds in one day. So you're not going to lose 50 pounds in one day. And so the drama and the trauma that you've been through with this narcissist, and they have worked so hard to devalue you. It takes time to build your esteem back up. It takes time to build your self-worth up. It takes time for you to build up. It takes time for you to build up your confidence. It takes time to heal from this. You have to be easy on yourself. You have to, when I say be easy on yourself, stop beating yourself up, assuming that you're supposed to get over this in one day. Some of this takes a while. Some of this takes a while to get through. You're going to go through, there's a 7 stages of grief. I told you guys to go look it up on Google, 7 stages of grief. 2 of the stages are the healing process of the healing process of the 7 stages. Some people use 5, but if you look at the 5 stages of grief, from grief and loss, you grieve, and hey, Mr. Walter, how are you, sir? All is well. Yes, sir. But when you go through those 5 stages, you have to remember that everybody doesn't go through all of them at the same time. All of them don't go through them in sequence. And sometimes you don't go through all of them, but sometimes you vacillate back and forth through that healing process. And so you have to remember that you're going through, hey, Pastor Gregory, Pastor Duhart, how are you, sir? But you have to remember, guten Tag, is it guten Tag or guten Abend over there? From much love from Sydney. That's what I'm talking about, Sydney. So it's Helly, right? Helly. Hello there. But you guys have to remember this is a process. You don't lose weight in one day. Hey, Miss Nakia. But you don't lose weight in one day, so you're not going to heal in one day. This has been almost it's a process of abuse. It's a process of abuse that got worse with time. Some of you guys have gotten post-traumatic stress disorder from this. And so don't think, hey there, Miss Yolanda, but some of you have come out of these situations, out of these relationships with post-traumatic stress. Excuse me, guys. But some of you guys have gotten out of these situations with post-traumatic stress. And so, of course, you're not going to be healed in one day. Of course, you're not going to be healed in 1 week. Some of you guys are vacillating between depression, denial. I can't believe this happened. Why is this happening to me? This hurts so bad. That is a very normal process of your healing. Yeah, or complex post-traumatic stress. Absolutely. This is a very normal process of healing. It is a normal process of healing. So what you're going through in the healing process is not abnormal. This is what you're going through in the healing process. And so you have to be kind and gentle on yourself. You have to be kind and gentle, knowing that, hey there, how are you, sir? But you have to be kind and gentle. And so this type of abuse, it has to be taught. Someone has to, you guys got to watch the videos, and not just mine. There are other videos out there, and you have to learn what you've been through. Remember, you've got to have value. If Michael Jordan knows the value of his tennis shoes, you guys are not going to negotiate a Michael Jordan shoe. If you are negotiating the price of a Jordan, then that means that you probably have a counterfeit. You don't have a real shoe. And if you're buying it for cheap, that's probably not the real thing, and it's not going to last very long. So don't go out there playing tennis. Don't go play basketball in some counterfeit tennis shoe, because your soul going to come off. I watched it happen in Korea. They're playing basketball and the whole bottom of the shoe came off. And so, and if you driving a Bentley, or if you driving a Rolls Royce, know that it has value. It has value. It has a price tag on it. It is very expensive. You don't have a price tag on you. You are very valuable. Crown jewels, remember that. Everyone is not entitled to go into that secret, private, intimate place of your heart, of your emotions. This is the healing process. I want you guys to learn. We all made the mistake. Most of you guys that are on here have probably been in a relationship, a narcissistic relationship. We can learn from these mistakes. You don't have to keep repeating the mistakes. You just have to learn. And sometimes when you're learning and having to make different decisions is very painful. Very, very painful. And so, yes, you stepped into this relationship. You didn't know anything about it. You were hoodwinked and bamboozled, like one of the viewers said. You were manipulated into it. You knew nothing about it. If you would have known, you would have made a decision, and you probably would have stayed far, far away. And so be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, and you have to go through the healing process, or you're liable to repeat the mistakes. And so, having said all that, do you guys have any questions for me? Is there anything that you would like to ask? That's right. You're priceless. Absolutely. Male, female alike. You are a precious jewel. You are a crown jewel that's locked up in the UK. So all my UK brothers and sisters, locked up in the UK under surveillance with high technology, you guard it. So if they're guarding those crown jewels, those precious, rare jewels, then your heart and your soul is a precious and rare jewel that deserves to be protected. No one is allowed, no one is obligated to, and no one should get into your emotions and your heart. Yes, it is your heart and your mind, unless you allow them to go there. Okay, so you guys safeguard yourself. New Beginnings has a question. Okay, what was the question again, New Beginning? What was the question? Hold on, let me scroll back. Let me see. New Beginning. Okay, let's see. Question: with the narc for 9 years, 2 kids, he has convinced me not to go through courts for separation. As I didn't work, I will get nothing. Not for him, I would have nothing. How do I get over fear? Well, remember, a narcissist operates in, they operate knowing that they instill fear. That's why they trauma bond. So I want go watch that. I was gonna say the show. Go watch my videos on trauma bonding. They trauma bonded you, but they love to use fear. He's convinced you not to go to court. I don't think that's a very good idea. You got to remember, they're manipulators. They never stop plotting against you. If they think you got one over on them, they're always, they never rest. You put your head down and go to sleep and you rest at night, guess what? They're up thinking of how they're going to get over on you, how they're going to play you, how they're going to convince you. You have to remember, you were in a relationship with this narcissist. There was nothing that the narcissist said that you could trust, right? And so because of the fact that there was nothing that the narcissist that you could trust from the narcissist, don't trust them when it comes to court. Use the court system. Use the court system and allow them to, go through the court system to establish what you need to establish. You can't trust the narcissist. Do not trust the narcissist when it comes to court. Do not trust the narcissist when it comes to don't go to court and negotiate. Go through the court system. Go through the court system. Who's that I was talking to? That's New Beginnings. Whatever you do, go through the court system. Go through the court. Don't trust anything that they have to say. Nothing that they have to say. Go through the court system. So you know it's fair and it's legal and it's documented. So they can't come back and renege on what they say. Miss Colorado says, does the narcissist feel any regret or guilt? My ex seems to have come up some and now we're dead to him. How do they sleep at night? They don't have any guilt and they don't have any regret. Everything is about feel. Remember, they don't have the capacity to feel. Hey, Marie, they don't have the capacity to feel. Remember, they do not feel empathy or compassion. The chemical in their brain, the chemical in our brain that's called oxytocin, is the chemical that teaches us, well, the chemical that bonds. It's the same chemical that is used for that causes addictions. And so that chemical oxytocin, when a woman has a baby, that chemical kicks in and it helps you to bond to the baby. When you're having a sexual relation, that chemical oxytocin kicks in and it creates a bond between you and the sexual encounter that you and the person. That oxytocin is what helps you bond to people. The oxytocin is the same chemical that also causes addictions. And so in the narcissist's brain, it's funny because the oxytocin doesn't work when it comes to bonding with people, but they do get addicted to stuff. But the empathy and the compassion, they don't have it. They have a problem in the brain area for the empathy and compassion, which is turned off. So they don't regret anything. If they regret anything, they regret getting caught. And when they get caught, they see how you react. And then it's almost like a trial and error. They learn how to turn it off and turn it on to figure out, how to do it next time. They don't have empathy. They don't have the capacity to feel. So Miss Colorado, no, they don't have regret. All they think of is what my next supply is. They use people and they just need to figure out how supply works. And so that's a sad thing. No, they don't regret. They don't regret. And how they sleep at night, most of them have sleeping issues. A lot of them do have problems with sleep. A lot of them do have sleep problems. There we go. They do have sleep problems. Speak on drugs and narcissism. I actually did a video on drugs and narcissism. Go back and look at the video on drugs and narcissism. I did one on that. Narcissists can be addicted to drugs. Yes, sirree. And they also can have other mental health disorders. So a lot of people that, remember, narcissist is a personality disorder, but they are prone to other disorders such as addictions. They're also prone to, most of them do have post-traumatic stress. A lot of them do have major depressive disorder. Sometimes they do have other personality disorders, borderline. They also have, they sometimes have bipolar disorder. They also have sociopath, which is now called anti-personality disorder, sociopath. They also have psychopathic disorders. So can you prove to the court who they are? Do you have like a DV advocate? Do you have like a domestic violence advocate? I would suggest, since you have not divorced yet, I would suggest contacting the YWCA or a local domestic violence, if they have like domestic violence advocate, or look on Google and look for like the National Domestic Violence Hotline or the National Domestic Violence Resource Line, and they will connect you. No, but my counselor has told me to get an order. Yes. If you have like organizations, sometimes they have nonprofit organization. They have nonprofit organizations that are that will let me think, that assist you with like connecting with legal advice, or also with court orders, not court orders, no contact orders, and also on they give you advice. So they advocate for you. They come together and advocate. Yeah, 211. If you dial 211, who is that I was talking to? Miss New Beginning. If you dial 211, you can look for like domestic violence advocates. You can look for, they also have a national hotline, the domestic violence hotline and resource hotline that will also help you connect with local resources in your area that will help you with a DV advocate. But you may want to get a DV advocate to assist you when it comes to the court. But your best bet is to get a no contact order, because that is registered with the police department as well. And then you can use that when you go and file for a separation or a divorce, because they'll look to see if there is a no contact order. So, are you talking about psychopathy or sociopathy? Just being real. Well, remember, those two are now combined. It's called anti-personality disorder. And so those two, they have a problem with empathy. They do have a problem. So all of them are now combined together. So anti-personality disorder is a combination of psychopath and sociopath. They also have problems with empathy. They don't have the capacity to feel empathy. A lot of them, so at one point in time, one of them was more, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, but they could care less. So, it doesn't matter what they do it, and they don't care about the consequences. And I have to go back in detail, because I did do a video on the psyche, on the different, and I don't have my books. So a lot of times when I do the videos, I go pull out my books and I study it a little bit before I come talk to you. So sometimes on certain topics, it requires me to have my DSM in front of me. And so I don't bring my DSM home. I usually have it sitting in my office, so I did not bring it. But it's called anti-personality disorder. They do have problems with empathy as well, but they also there's one that just could care less. You want to read the DSM so bad? Just purchase one. It's about I think it's about $100 and something, close to $200. I'm not sure. You can get it on sale too. But you can also look online, like, what does the DSM say? You got to be careful because a lot of times people read the DSM and you're reading. See, there's a difference when you're dealing with the mental health field, when we're learning about the DSM and the different disorders. The reason why we have internship is so we can see what those disorders look like. When you actually see them play out in front of you, it makes, self-diagnosing. And so a lot of times when you're reading it, you're reading one thing, but to see it play out, you'll understand. So a lot of times, like, bipolar and borderline looks just alike, and then ADHD and bipolar looks alike, and then complex PTSD and ADHD and a lot of those, they look alike. So to be in a clinical setting, to see it play out in front of you under supervision, you'll understand what it looks like. Ms. Marie said, do narcs study and educate themselves on narcissism? No, they just are like they are. But I'll tell you this, with so many people are coming out with videos now, think about it for just a minute. I'm going to give you an example, Ms. Marie. If you look on my YouTube channel, I have almost 2,000 followers. Do you really think that all 2,000 followers are actually survivors of narcissism? A lot of the followers that are on there are actually narcissists. They just don't say anything. They're quiet. And they're listening to me as I talk and teach. And guess what they're doing? They're educating themselves, not on how to a lot of them who may, I don't know if they know me or not. I don't know. They may know someone I know. I don't know. Because I have classmates on here and everything. And I'm not saying my classmates, but think about it. If all of you that are on here that actually interact with me, whenever I come up with a video, if you read under the comments under the video, a lot of you make this comment: it seems like you were in my house. Oh my gosh, you're speaking on my life. Oh my goodness, all the details that you're saying is exactly what I went through. So if survivors say that, what do you think a narcissist is saying? Because they know what they're doing. And when I say they know what they're doing, when you start giving examples and people start, when people start to talk about, like, this is exactly what the narcissist did, if you guys are relating and all the scenarios are exactly the same, Imagine the narcissists that are doing it. A lot of the narcissists that are doing it are reading the comments or listening to the videos, and they know that's what they were doing. Now we're giving it a name and we're talking about it, but it for them is not to get better or to heal from the problem. For them is to understand how you see it so they can get better at what they're doing. So a lot of them are watching videos to learn how to get better at what they're doing. So they're not educating themselves on narcissism. They're educating on themselves on how to get better at doing what they're doing, and is giving a name to it. Will they admit that they're narcissists? No. All they know is that they recognize some of the stuff that we talk about. How to hustle. Pastor Duhart, how to hustle? Are you asking the question, or are you saying they just learning how to hustle? They narc repellent. Yeah, they are evil. Let's see. I missed some of the questions. Panda Bear said, I'm in a relationship with a narcissist individual. I wouldn't doubt if he was a sociopath either. Either way, it's extreme hard to live with him. Yeah, when you got psychopaths and sociopaths, these are dangerous people. And a lot of times they're also malignant. Did they answer the question, Miss Marie? A lot of them are also malignant, meaning that they're the more violent type. They're the more violent type of narcissist. So if I missed any questions, post a question again. They are learning how to hustle people. Yeah, they're learning how to manipulate people. They're learning, and they're not learning how to manipulate people. They already know how to do that. What they do is, and they do it because they watch people, and they need supply. So each supply teaches them something different. Each supply teaches them something, because each one of us are different individuals. So each one of us have hurts. Each one of us has individual hurts. We have individual needs. And so they learn from each individual person how to be. See, the problem is that we'll talk and we'll write the script and the character that they need to play. And so sometimes those of you, not sometimes, but if you've ever left a narcissist and you look at the narcissist with the new supply, they're totally not like you used to be at one time. And so the way that they used to be with you is not how they are with the new supply. So you can look at them like, this is not the person that I knew, because they morph into the person that they need to be for that new supply. They don't have their own identity. And so we teach them how to treat us, and we teach them how they need to be, and they just move on to the next person, move on to the next person. I think someone said there was a movie out called, what was that movie about that whatever that demon was that kept jumping from person to person to person? Somebody mentioned that movie, and I was like, that's exactly what they do. They practice and move to the next. Exactly, Miss Torres. Exactly. Missy. I called you Miss Torres. Missy. He threatened me, been destructive. He's very mentally abusive. I've been dealing with it for almost 12 years now. Can he be fixed? No, he can't be fixed. There is no, from the mental health perspective, there is no recovering from or healing from narcissism. It is a personality disorder. It's a personality trait. It is a dysfunctional personality disorder and a character flaw, and it is permanent. It cannot be changed. There is no therapy or medication that will change it. Narcissistic personality disorder cannot be fixed. It is permanent. And if you've been in the relationship for 12 years, I'm telling you now that it's going to get worse. Worse, not worst. It's going to get worse. It will get bad. So hopefully, Miss Panda Bear, hopefully you're making plans to get out of the situation. I don't know if you are. I hope you are, because the situation is not going to get any better. The movie where the guy whistles and sings when he jumps from person to person. Yeah, I know. Watched also Associate Direct and Pastor R.C. Blake's. Yeah. I can't think of that movie. So basically, you can't get someone to feel empathy if they don't have it. Or did I interpret that right? Yeah, you can't. If there's a difference. It's different if you have narcissistic traits. If you have narcissistic traits, that means you have some empathy. So there's nothing wrong in your brain dealing with the portion of your brain. Yeah, it had Denzel Washington in it. Yeah, that one. But yeah, there is something in their brain. Hey, Sad. there's something in their brain that has been affected through some type of trauma in their life that does not permit them to feel empathy. And so that cannot be fixed in a narcissist or sociopath, psychopath, those that do not have empathy. And so that is not fixable in the brain. It is not fixable. And so no, it cannot be repaired. It cannot be fixed. Panda Bear. So you interpret that right. It can't be fixed. Well, he has empathy. He isn't lacking it, but he is very, very, very narcissistic and has experienced a ton of trauma in his early life. So number one, he isn't lacking it completely. Well, number one, you have to remember, if he has truly, yeah, Fallen. It was the movie Fallen. There you go. If you guys watch the movie Fallen, you'll understand what a narcissist does. They jump from person to person to person. The only difference is that as they jump from person to person, yeah, the movie Fallen, they jump from person to person, but they learn new traits. They learn new behavior patterns. They learn how to manipulate better. They learn how to manipulate and it's almost like the dominate better. And as soon as you start finding them out and you get yourself back together, they leave. They can, yeah, there you go. That just being real, that's what I was saying. Panda Bear, a narcissist, if you're truly dealing with a person with narcissistic personality disorder, the trick behind the manipulation behind and how people have fallen is because they mimic you. They don't have empathy or compassion. They do not. They do not bond with people. And so what you assume might be empathy is not empathy whatsoever. They mimic you and they watch your emotions and how you express emotions, but it's not real. If you're dealing with a person that has narcissistic traits, then they have empathy. But normally, and most people are in denial because they cannot believe that a person just cannot bond with a person, especially if you've been with them for many years. Missy Torres says trauma like sexual abuse unresolved. Any kind of trauma, Miss Torres, you have abandonment, you have rejection, you have sexual abuse, you have physical abuse. Then you also have situations in which you may have, nowadays, if you look on television, the way that the children are being raised, they're being raised to be entitled, to be entitled, and everybody is your servant, and these are parents. So sometimes the parent plays a role in that. Over parenting or over entitlement or teaching the children that people have no worth or being raised by narcissistic parents. And so, but they are traumatized. Somewhere they are traumatized. Let's see. Hopefully that answered that. Let's look. He mimics. He's not good at it, but he definitely starting to up his game here lately. Then Miss Panda Bear, hey, Miss Erica, Miss Panda Bear, if you dealing with a real narcissist, they're just mimicking emotions. They don't actually feel what they're showing. If it feels like that is empathy, then it's probably not empathy. They're just mimicking in order. It's the trauma bonding. So you go look at trauma bonding. They'll mimic, they'll pretend, but it's not real. It's not real. If you're really dealing with a narcissist, it's not real. You are so welcome. Is it Tashante? Tashante. Walter said, pure sicko. Yep. Empathy. It's empathy from the mind, not empathy like we have. See, a lot of times what happens is that you're trying to figure the narcissist out based on your perspective as a person that has compassion and empathy. So you're trying to figure out, like, you're trying to figure the narcissist out thinking like you think. You have to think like the narcissist think, and that's without compassion or empathy. So a lot of you are trying to figure out, how can they not care? How can they, because you're thinking the way that you're thinking as an empath or a person with empathy. You're not thinking like a narcissist. A narcissist does not have compassion or feelings or the feelings, the bond. They have supply. They need supply, they need fuel. That's all it is. They need supply and they need fuel from that supply. You are fueling that narcissist, and so they are still with you. If you stand up and start putting your foot down and you start holding them accountable, you'll notice that they'll start trying to get away from you. You'll notice they'll start devalue, or not even devalue, they'll slowly start discarding you to move on to another supply because you done got too big for your britches. So you done learned something. So Miss Amy, this is Okay, AMG Gidry. There we go. It's crazy how they lie and get mad when you see through it. Absolutely. You proud of me, Miss Erica? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm honored. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see. The ex has now assumed a new personality which mimics the lifestyle he's adopted with the new supply. Absolutely. Think about it. If let's say we'll just say positively, positive vibrations. I'm just gonna add to what you just said. So imagine, let's say that you are a lawyer. No, say you are a nurse and the narcissist connects with you. So you'll talk, and what you think is rapport building is not rapport building. They're getting information from you. They're trying to determine your language. They're trying to determine your interests. They're gonna mimic you. They're gonna mimic your language. They're gonna pick up on your language. They're gonna get around. They'll get on the internet. They get around to pick up your language. They'll get around to pick up how you talk, how you think, and then they'll adopt your language. So it makes it sound like, so the old supply from that may look like you are not a nurse. You are not in the medical. You don't know nothing about the medical field. Now let's say that the new supply that they have, maybe captured. Let's say the new supply is a lawyer. So then all of a sudden they'll start dressing like the new supply, maybe suits. They'll start adopting the legal language. They'll start looking, they'll start driving the car. They look the part, they mimic, they listen. So now the X supply, the discarded supply, the nurse looks at the narcissist with the new supply and says, you are not a lawyer. You don't know anything about the legal field. Now let's say that the new supply that they find is a Hollywood actor or actress, right? So they'll pick up on the Hollywood life. Let's just say it's Hollywood. We're just being extreme, okay? Let's say that they pick up on they Rodeo Drive. At one point in time, there's Rodeo Drive, but now all of a sudden it's Rodeo Drive. They pronounce it right now, Rodeo Drive. Beverly Hills, they'll pick up on the language. They'll pick up on the appearance. They'll put themselves in debt to try to look the part. You see, now the last two supplies are going to say, you are not an actor. You are not a lawyer. I don't know what you're doing. You're acting. So you see the fallen, you see how they jump and they just adapt to whatever supply. That's right, a chameleon. But they adapt to the new supply. They become whatever they attach to. They become whatever they attach to. They're copycats. Absolutely. New Beginning said, do they go from one long term to another? I know the new supply left her abusive husband to be with a narc. And will the new supply get it worse than I? Only ask as she was a new friend that came along. Well, see, there are some narcissists, it looks like they have long-term relationship. That's because of the fact that y'all haven't put, exactly, Missy Torres. But you have to think, yeah, knowing your worth, absolutely. You have to think for a minute. Hold on, let me go back. What I was just answering. So some narcissists come out of long-term relationship and they jump right back into another relationship. But when they jump into another relationship, they're going with everything that they had with you. So if you think that they're going to jump into a new relationship and they're going to be better than what they were with you, you're absolutely wrong. They're worse in the new relationship than they were with you. So the new supply, that little honeymoon season, that little love bombing season probably hasn't died down yet. But in between, they're already devaluing. And so when they start devaluing, they're going to be worse than what they were with you. Trust me, because they picked up some bad things and they picked up these new things. And so they go in, well, I'm not going to get caught this time, or I'm not going to do this time. I'm going to do this time. So the new supply is headed for a disaster because they're worse. They're worse than what they were with you when they get with them. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Terminator movie, become what they touch. Exactly, Pastor Duhart. Exactly. They whatever they touch, they become. So whatever new supply that they get, they become what that new supply is. They mimic you. They watch you. They adapt your language. They adapt your lifestyle. And what happens is, ladies a lot of times talk too much. And talking too much, you telling all your business. You tell them what you don't like. You tell them where you came from. You tell them, what kind of relationship you've been. So everything that hurt you is what they'll adapt to. and become that knight in shining armor. Or the females will become men. Sometimes you talk too much when you're hurt. And when you hurt, you just talk. You need to be heard. And so they'll take your pain and your hurt, and they're not connecting with you to build a rapport. They're connecting with you, and now they're listening to it because they're coming. They're coming. They're becoming what you need them to be. They're becoming what it is you're hurt, where you're hurting at. They're becoming. But what they're doing is they're going to use all that against you. All that is going to be used against you. If you don't like to be left alone, if you don't like, for people to stop talking to you in the trauma bonding phase, they will use that to get what they want from you. When they get what they want from you, then they'll give you what you want: attention, time, love. And as soon as you don't give them what they want, they'll go right back into using all those insecurities and all that pain you express. They'll use that to hurt you. So they're not bonding with you. They're not building a rapport with you or getting to know you. They just want to know your weaknesses. That's what they want to know. My narc is grooming his new victim as we go through a divorce, but he begs and pleads with me to save the marriage and work it out. Ms. Guidry, you better run. You better run. You better walk away and do like they did on Waiting to Exhale. Take that match and throw it back and blow the car. Now, don't do that. I'm just joking. I don't mean that for real. Don't do that. But you need to walk off and leave, whatever you left behind, you leave your past behind and you move forward. You don't need that drama in your life. You can create your own drama. You don't need that drama in your life. Let's see. Why they have so much fun to hurt. It's not that they have fun, is that they need supply. And they need supply, they need your reaction. It is not they need your response from you, they need a reaction from you. Any kind of reaction fuels them. So if you cry, it makes them feel empowered. If you're angry and they've just got caught doing something, they feel empowered. Oh, they absolutely do not like being told no. If you tell them no, that's when the abuse turns up. That's that trauma bond, that's that abuse turns up. And some of them will torment you. Some of them will sleep deprive you. Anything, they'll torment your kids in order to get a yes out of you. But Miss Nadine, was that Miss Nadine? Where are you at? Was that Miss Nadine? They need supply. So any kind of fuel they can get, whether it's tears and you're really sincere, you're really hurt about them hurting you, but it's fuel, it makes them feel empowered. If they come around, like for some of you that have been discarded and you look on their social media, stay off of their social media, stay away from their new supply social media. And what happens is they post stuff in order to get a reaction from you. The way that they know they got a reaction is when you text them, who is this? Who is this new chick? They're getting a reaction, so they get fuel. It's like an adrenaline rush. They're adrenaline junkies. So it's like an adrenaline rush to them. And whatever they can do to get a reaction from you, it's an adrenaline rush. You get the best light from burning the bridge. There you go. I have a question. I returned a gift and took it to the police for him to pick it up. Was it a narc injury or supply? I don't know, because I don't. Okay, sorry, you guys. It reset itself. So Buzzing Bee, it's a possibility you may have caused a narc injury because he probably felt like you always accept his gifts. And so there's no way that you would reject me. So rejecting him probably did cause a narc injury because he didn't expect you to do that. Karen Hughes said, I have been with two of them now. One for 14 years, the other for 3 years. You're not stupid, Karen. You're not stupid. All it is that, think about it. As I said earlier, you probably missed it earlier. First of all, if you don't know what you're dealing with, you don't know what to look for. So if you don't know what a diamond looks for, you can come across a bunch of diamonds and never realize that you're sifting diamonds in the sand. But unless you're taught and educated about what you've gone through or what a narcissist looks like, you don't know what you're looking for. It just feels good. And so it's not that you're stupid. It's just the fact that they manipulate it and they're not going to be honest about who they are. And I was just making this comment over to my YouTube people over here. And I was telling them, I said, if a narcissist was honest about who they are, if a narcissist was honest about what they're going to do and how they're going to do what they do, they came with a manual. If they were honest, because you were tricked into the relationship, you were manipulated and lied into the relationship. There was nothing honest about how you got into the relationship. But if they had been honest about who they were and what they do, you wouldn't have made the choice. And the only thing is that you just weren't educated. You just weren't educated. No, I'm not a lesbian. But are you? But uh, let's see. So no, you are not stupid. It's just that you didn't have enough education about it. You just didn't have enough information about it. You didn't have enough. You didn't know the game. You didn't know the game. They were both snowballed me with supposed love in the beginning. Exactly. So you were tricked into the relationship. You were tricked into the relationship. If they had been honest, you probably would have made the decision not to be with them. With the stuff that you know now, you probably wouldn't have been with them. So no, you're not stupid. Don't call yourself stupid. Be kind to yourself, okay? Why do they all use the same bag of tricks? That's Miss Lee. Well, Miss Lee, think about this for a minute. You're dealing with a mental health disorder, so it's a personality disorder. I'm gonna answer the question. I'm gonna answer this question like this, and I said this before. Have you ever seen children or people with Down syndrome? If you've seen people with Down syndrome, you notice they can be, and they had a reality show with people that have Down syndrome. Have you noticed that each person with Down syndrome, it doesn't matter whether they're black, whether they're white, whether they are from this country, from another country, doesn't matter their sexual orientation, doesn't matter. Have you noticed that they all have the exact same features? Have you noticed that people with post-traumatic stress have the same symptomology? Nightmares, let's see, they have nightmares, night terrors, depression, anxiety. When you look in the DSM for the mental health profession, you look in the DSM, the way that we group, the way that we diagnose is we have to find, like, if I give you an example, if there are 7 symptoms to qualify for a particular diagnosis, you may need 5 out of 7. Let's just use that as an example. Well, each one of that bipolar disorder, you'll notice that they have 3 or 4 days where they have hypomania or manic episodes, and then all of a sudden you'll notice they have 2 weeks worth of depression, 2 or more weeks worth of depression. They're very distinct features, right? Well, with a narcissist, there are 9 features, there are 9 symptoms, and a person that truly has narcissistic personality disorder is going to, I can't recall how many symptoms they have to have, but a lot of them may have 9 symptoms that qualifies them for that diagnosis. And so what is being discovered now is a lot of people that were abused by a narcissist. Everything that I've talked about on these videos, most of you guys can relate to, because they have the same diagnosis. They have the exact same diagnosis. And so with them having the exact same diagnosis, they do the exact same thing. They're just different individual. They're different races, different cultures, different sexual orientations. But it doesn't matter. Narcissists across the board, they all have the same MO because they have the same diagnosis, because they have the same symptomology. And so hopefully that answered that question. That's why they all seem like they're using the same bag of tricks. New Beginning said, will their love bombing stage be the same for each victim? If each love bombing is the same bag of tricks, what they'll probably do, because remember, when they go searching for, yeah, they're all the same. Miss Selena, is Selena? Yeah, Selena Verde, Selena Verde. The love bombing that they do, remember, they have probably hunted their new supply. They've studied the new supply. They've watched the new supply. They look to see the environment they're in, the language they speak, the job that they have, the people that they're around. And so they have to, usually what they do is, in order to figure out how to love bomb, they have to throw out a little bait. They may do things like show up at the job, show up in that environment of the new supply or the person that they plan on love bombing. They have to show up first of all to see whether or not they can get a reaction from you. Oh, he cute, or oh, she's sexy. So once they get a reaction out of you, then they may start with small talk. And so they have to figure that they're figuring out the person. So every love bombing stage may not actually be exactly the same. um they may not exactly be the same because they have to they have to they love bomb according to the new source of supply. They may start off with some similar things they did with you, but they're trying to determine this new supply, and that new supply is different than you. So they have to figure out how to love bomb the new supply. So they change with the new supplies depending on what works. What worked on you may work on her or work on him. And so if that worked, they'll just carry it over and use it on the new supply if that works, and add to their little repertoire or bag of tricks. So positive vibration, according to DSM-4, a person needs 5 out of 9 traits as described in DSM-4 to be diagnosed with NPD. So same thing. So you're right, first 5 out of 9, but that's right. And so they all have similar traits. Post-traumatic stress. If I started naming some of the symptoms of post-traumatic stress or complex post-traumatic stress, a lot of you I have those symptoms. I have those symptoms. So forgive me, Facebook. I think the network connection is a little low, so it might be a little delay in the video. So I apologize. But as I was saying, they have similar features, similar symptomology. It's like bipolar disorder, similar features, similar symptomology. Major depressive disorder. Some of you lose your appetite, some of you gain your appetite, some of you lose energy, some of you have no what's the word I'm like, no motivation. Some of you can't find joy in anything. It's like you're sad all the time. So it's all symptomology. It's symptomology, and you pick out the symptoms. You can most of them have the exact same features, and a lot of you that come on here when I do videos, most of you say, hey, that's exactly what I went through, because you guys are dealing with a person with that type of disorder. Let's see. Yeah, they hook you, make you crave them, only them, and then use you and flip. Go watch my trauma bonding video. I talked about the trauma bonding, which is just like drug addiction as well. And some of you actually, when you're coming out of this relationship with the narcissist, when your chemical levels, the oxytocin gets low, it causes a craving. And so you'll look for a fix, meaning if I could just get a negative word from him or her, if I could just get a little Hoover, because you're now having cravings. You're having cravings and withdrawal symptoms. It literally feels like withdrawal symptoms. He said, without seeming sarcastic, obtuse, can I sincerely and everyone is so in the towel when it comes to narcissistic people? Probably because they're very abusive, they're very vindictive, they're evil. Even though they have a disorder, they will destroy you mentally. They will destroy you physically, financially. They have no problem. They are destructive people. They will destroy your mind. They will destroy your emotions. They will destroy your family. They will destroy your credibility. They'll destroy that's how they do. They completely destroy you. A lot of them, and some of them, I'd say some of them. I can't say, well, a lot of them. I can't say a lot of them. A lot of them will even sexually abuse your children because they see the children as an extension of themselves. So to have sex with their own children is to like having sex with themselves. And so you're dealing with an individual that does not have the capacity to feel compassion for you or empathy. Everything that if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, is not a real relationship anyway. And eventually you'll find out, because they also have other supply. They always have other supply. And so I suggest, if you are capable of doing so, if you're not married, if you're married, you're gonna have to make that decision, because eventually they're gonna get worse, and either you're gonna kill yourself or they're gonna kill you. That is the greatest supply that that's the greatest fuel that they can ever get. So Miss Panda Bear, is gonna get worse, and I always suggest get away from a narcissist. They're dangerous people. I'm not saying that they don't do any of what you just said, and I'm not talking about pedophiles or murderers. I'm talking about like the ones that people are with, but it just seems like, okay, keep going. Miss Marie said, can you explain the cold blank void stare? It's very apparent. Same look, same stare. You see it clearly after no contact. Sometimes it's a scare tactic. Sometimes it is a way of a power and control tactic to get you back in line. I actually did a video on that, which is the narcissist stare. You can go and look at the narcissist stare. But sometimes they use it as a control tactic. They use it as a fear tactic. And so it's like they said the eyes are the windows of the soul. But you can't see anything beyond that blank stare. What are you looking at? What's looking back at you? It's almost evil. But let's see. I'm talking about like the ones that people are with, but it seems like, okay, she never finished that comment. Is this helping you guys? Is this helping you guys? And so it's been 75 minutes, so I'm going to start winding down, okay? Because you guys usually have me on here for like an hour and a half. So right now we are an hour and about 15 minutes. And so I'm going to start winding down, okay? Is this helping you guys? Are you guys getting something out of it? Hey, everybody throw a hand up for TMG, because she's been doing she's my moderator. And so she has been taking a lot of the unnecessary comments out so you guys can stay focused on each other and supporting each other. So you guys give her a hand, because she's doing an excellent job, and I really appreciate her. She's an awesome lady. Awesome lady. So hopefully this has been helping you guys. I don't see any more questions. So hopefully this has answered questions. I know the over here says the network connection is kind of low. So I don't know what's happening over here on Facebook. Is this recording now? Hopefully it's connected again. Miss Marie, hopefully that answered your question. I know that the network was going in and out. If you guys don't have any more questions, I know you guys got like 1,000 questions, but I'm going to start winding down. So I'm going to take my last question. You guys ask me anything you want. We're going to start. Just go ahead and get off of here so I can go to sleep. Has this been helping you guys? Hopefully this has been helping you guys. I hope you guys are getting something out of it. I am so honored that you guys joined me. I'm so honored that you guys would come and join, even though I was late. So I really, really apologize, you guys. I had some business I had to take care of. Excuse me. And then I got home a little late anyway. And you guys see I'm tired. I'm sorry. I got to get up early in the morning. I know a lot of you guys have to go to work. I'm so honored. Thank you guys for being here. So let me make sure I get all my languages. Bonjour, namaste, hola, hello, guten Abend, good dog. There's another one. Heli. What else? I can't think of anything else. But thank you guys. I need help pulling away. Michelle Jones, you are welcome. I do provide coaching services. If you're interested in coaching services, email me at Dr. Carmen Bryant, DrCarmenBryant. Let me know if you are, how do you pronounce that? Xia? If you are interested in coaching services, please email me, DrCarmenBryant at Outlook.com. Just put coaching in the header, or coaching inquiry, and I will send you some information on my coaching services. If you stay tuned, I will let you know. For some of you that at this particular time may not be able to do coaching, I am developing some classes, some webinars. So is it Okay, so do it do it like spell it out and tell me how to pronounce that in Hungarian. It's Christina, Miss Christina. But spell it out like how to pronounce that, so I know how to pronounce that. Yeah, Miss Michelle, kids a lot of times don't understand. They do not understand. But if you are interested in coaching, you are welcome to email me and I'll send you some information. Those of you that are not ready for coaching, those of you that have come to coaching, thank you so much, for trusting me, because you guys are putting your emotions in my hand and I really appreciate you trusting me with that. What I'll do is I am also developing some webinars that you guys can, pay for that may be a little more affordable to you. But I'm creating webinars now. It's like classes, but webinars that you guys can pay per view, where I actually take the opportunity to teach. I'm going to teach different areas of the narcissism and things that you're going through, and give you guys some ideas, on the recovery process. And so, look for that. My book should be coming out soon. So it is with the editor now. And so when the book comes out, I will let you know when the books come out. Miss TMG, make sure you send me your address too. But when the book comes out, I'm gonna let you guys know when the book comes out. Hopefully you support me and get the book. And then I have a second book in the works. And I'm gonna teach you guys some more about narcissism. But he only been away for 6 months and I'm scared to leave due to the laws. Okay. He controlled a lot with being vindictive. His girlfriend helped him. Miss Michelle, if you have a local YWCA, they have domestic violence advocates there. Also, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline or the Domestic Violence Resource Line. But if you call the hotline, you can also ask them for resources. For example, no contact orders, assistance, and whether it means shelter or, but you can ask them, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. But you can ask them questions that are specific to your case. So you ask them questions specific to your case as well. If you need a no contact order, if you need a protection order, that would help you in being able to relocate or something like that, but do get the help, okay? Go contact the domestic violence advocate to help you out in your situation. Saya. Okay, Saya. Miss Maria said, thanks for answering, but the broadcast froze. Thank you for the broadcast. They are very direct and helpful. I saw it when it froze, so I wasn't sure if you actually heard me while I was talking. So hopefully you might be able to, like, when I stop recording, you can go back and look and see what I said. I apologize. If I do that, he might kill me or my kids. That is something that you need to let them know. You need to let them know that you're afraid for your life, so you can get a no contact order. And they do have programs that will relocate you and change your identity. I have helped people leave from the state that I am in and relocate to another location. They do have where they will help you change your identity and keep you in hiding, but to protect you. So Miss Michelle Jones called the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Do express to them that you fear your life. Or you can go to the local YWCA and let them know exactly what you just said, your concerns. And they will assist you, okay? Miss Karen said, thank you for your help. I'm very interested in all that you can offer. Okay, send me an email, Miss Karen. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, DrCarmenBryant @outlook.com. It's Dr. and then my name, Carmen Bryant @outlook.com. And I'll send you some information. When I begin to make the webinars, I will let you guys know, for those of you that, may be tight on the budget right now. But I'll do whatever I possibly can to help you, okay? It's 7 a.m. here in England. Oh, going to work now. Oh my gosh, I'm coming to the UK one day, Miss Christina. I'm telling you, I'm gonna come. You guys are gonna see me in London. You have to give me a tour when I get over there, okay? Yes, ma'am. They are scary people. Yes, ma'am. And Miss Michelle, please email me and let me know how that goes, okay? I wanna know how that goes. I wanna keep up with you, okay? And Miss Christina, I'm coming to London. You watch. I'm coming to visit. I'm coming over. You got to give me a tour when I come, okay? Well, okay, so I don't know what happened over here on YouTube. There are no more questions coming through. I'm shocked. You guys went to sleep? I know you tired. I know you are. If he knows I'm running, he will try to turn the tables. Not if you get the right protection order, and if they relocate you, okay? If they relocate you and they get you the right protection order, they will move you. They will help move you out of the state. I have helped somebody do that before. And so they will move you out of the state, or they move you out of wherever you are. So there are programs to relocate you, especially if you fear your life. I'm telling you, okay? Just let me know so I can keep up with you, okay? Okay, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get off. I don't know, all the comments stopped coming through. I wonder what happened here. So nobody saying anything. What happened? I don't know where all the comments went. Nobody's saying anything, and I know you guys are there. So, hey, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off, okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. I know it's late, and I'm so sorry for coming on late. I'll try to do better next week, okay? I usually come on between 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is West Coast in the U.S., and so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for interacting with me. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Also, and hit the bell so that you know whenever I come on live, whenever I post videos. I usually upload new videos Tuesday through Friday. So look for me. Also, I come live on Sundays. I already said that. I also have a Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. I post videos on both channels. And so I really appreciate you guys being here. Miss Michelle, make sure that you do what I told you to do, okay? You contact them and see what they can do for you. That is, I don't have that resource. And so you're going to have to contact them, a DV advocate, the YWCA, or the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Let them know your fears and let them know and ask them, you know, how do you get a contact order, and if you need to be relocated with your children because you are in fear that he may try to kill you. Let them know the urgency of your request. Let them know the urgency of your request. If you don't tell them the urgency of your request, then there's a possibility they may not be able to help you. But you have to let them know the urgency of your request. What is the best way to show a judge during divorce that you were used and conned by con artists who never loved you? Well, it depends on what state you're in. Some states are like no fault states, like the state of Washington is no fault state, so they could care less, sad to say. And so that's why I tell most women to make sure, or men too, make sure they go to like, we have like the Crystal Judson Family Center here, which assists women that have been through domestic violence, where you can file a no contact order. You have parenting plans that you can be specific in your parenting plans if you need them to do like a anger management or an assessment. And you can also use the advocate to assist you through the legal process. So a lot of times you just have to, depends on what type of state you're in, but I'm telling you, you get to a domestic violence advocate and they have a lot of information for you that I may not have. Miss Michelle, you're going to have to work through the legal system. I'm telling you, you have to work through the legal system, okay? So you're going to have to get an advocate. So you're going to have to work through the legal system. I don't have legal advice for you, but you're going to have to work through the legal system, and you're going to have to work through a domestic violence advocate. And the domestic violence advocates a lot of times can connect you to legal resources to help you in a situation like this, because a lot of them the advocates deal with this on a daily basis, day in and day out. And so this is what they do. This is what they do for a living, and so they'll have more resources for you than I do. That's usually when I refer out to other resources. And so you guys, I don't know what happened over here to YouTube. I see no more comments. Everything stopped. I don't know what happened. But hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and get off, okay? And you guys have an awesome evening. And as my friend always say, you guys go and be great. Thank you so much for being here. And you guys stay